up, YouTube? Coming to you live on the way to my appointment. It's a little dark, isn't it? Give a little bit of light in here. What's going on now? Okay, so this is a bit of an attempt on YouTube to go live. Normally my lives are done over on Instagram. There's a lot to talk about at the moment, especially with regards to what the fuck's going on in the world. Obviously, even the student astrologers could have predicted the type of event that transpired over the last, 48 hours or so in relation to Trump and the assassination attempt. Mars, always a trigger for attacks, accidents, aggression, conflict, and we've got Uranus for shocking, sudden, unexpected events. So if you're in the house, don't forget to hit the like button. That'd be good. The algorithms like a little bit of the love. So if you want to hit the like, that's good. That's good for me, especially to boost my YouTube channel. It's been a long time making this YouTube channel. I think 5 years I started this channel, but I haven't been consistently posting on here up until recently. So yeah, I thought I'd try come live, and talk about, does the Matrix have you? Especially in context to what's been going on over the last 24 hours, the build up to it, and now the fallout from it. And never before seen, especially so quickly, have we had so much information. Hello, Jupiter in Gemini. Jupiter in Gemini is Gemini is information, Jupiter is expansion. So there is no shortage of information fucking coming to light, and it's coming from the Gemini stream, which is every perspective, every angle. It's this, it's that, look at this, and there's so much. It's an information overload. It can lead to overwhelm, and it can lead to overanalysis, paralysis, when you overthink shit, when you get too involved in it, when you're trying to work it out. Let me just say from the get-go, you will never know who did it, how they did it, why they did it, if it were real, fake, psyop, or anything. You're not going to know. You can speculate and hypothesize all you like, but you're not gonna fucking know, right? That's just the nature of this game that they're playing, is that keep you in the dark of what's really going on. If we knew, or if we ever were, like, who did JFK? Did we really go to the moon? Who was behind 9/11? All the false flags, all of those things. Think about it. All there ever is rhetoric, speculation, conspiracy, all that. And I'm not against any of that. I think it's necessary. I think it's part of the process of questioning things. I think it's healthy, but if you think that you know, you're never going to know. So don't try. And the other thing is that what's happening is people are focusing too much on the wrong thing here. They're looking at the wrong thing from the wrong perspective. And you've got to shift your perspective at the moment. And the way to do that is zoom out. Zoom out, zoom out, zoom out, zoom out, zoom out, zoom out, zoom out. Zoom right out and look at the big picture of what is going on, rather than just the moment. The Uranus-Mars conjunction square natal Mars to Trump's chart is a moment, right? It represents a shocking attack, a change, but that's not the story here. That's, that where we're to focus on that part of the story. It'd be like watching a movie and there was a surprise gun attack within the movie, and then you just stop and you're just looking at that rather than looking at the whole movie, the whole scene, the whole picture. So to get a bit of an idea of what's happening and whether it was real or it wasn't real or any of that, you've got to zoom right out. You've got to look at the characters that are involved and the way they're being portrayed and who benefits and how this changes things and what direction. How does this affect the collective consciousness? Those are the questions to ask yourself. How is this going to impact things the way people are seeing it? This whole process of Trump, right, and my point of view and perspective on Trump is that he's not the savior, he's the trumpet. So he is Trump. Think about the tarot cards, and you've got the major arcana and the minor arcana, right? The major arcana are known as trump cards. They're known as trump cards. The major arcana is if you have access to all the aspects of consciousness through the major arcana, you are an adept. You're a magician, a magi, a maga. Make America great again. The maga, the magician. Okay? Elon Musk, Donald Trump, they're magicians. They're occultists at the highest level. They're adeptus mages. They are playing far superior than just your average fucking Joe. So Trump, the Trump card, play the Trump card. Trump isn't in here to be the savior to all this. He's here to help you save yourself by bringing all of the dark shit to light, by exposing it, by bringing consciousness to it, by bringing awareness to it, by bringing it into the collective consciousness. You get caught up in the rhetoric and the media around he's a bad man, he's an orange man, he's a misogynist, he's a this, he's a that, or whatever the programming is saying. You're in the matrix, you're stuck in it, you're not looking at it from the right point of view. And this isn't something that's just happening now. This is shit that they're undoing that's been going on for a long fucking time. The hijacking of the US probably began around the establishment of the Federal Reserve. I think that's in the 1800s sometime. And you would then like to fast forward to the assassination of JFK. Go and look at all of the speeches that he was presenting before his assassination, and he was trying to expose things and bring things to light. And they went, hey, you're not having a part of that. You're not fucking with our game. So there has been, in the shadows, right, the deep state is basically shadow government. Right? It's very plutonic in the sense of controlling you from your subconscious, your unconsciousness. That's what your shadow does until you illuminate it and bring it to light. It controls. You know why it does that? Because you hide from it. You conceal it. And from the shadows, it controls you. So, from the shadows, for a long time, we've been kept in the dark, but thinking that we're not, conditioned to think, yay, this person's president, that person did, that's all just superficial fucking game that's being played. We're really being controlled and manipulated from the shadows by very sinister people that are self-fucking serving. They want to keep the vast majority of humanity in the dark and conditioned and controlled by fear, right? So that they can harvest us for our energy and resources. Your energy is your consciousness and what you choose to do with your conscious sovereign expression of energy that you've been gifted by the spark of divinity when you were born. And this has been going on since your birth. This isn't just a, Biden-Trump thing. Nothing to fucking do with that. So you got to expand out. You get stuck in was it a fake bullet? Was it a real bullet? He didn't get, that doesn't matter. What he's doing to the vast majority of the masses is he's showing you the extent that they will go to prevent him being in control, bringing shit to light. And it's not Trump, he's just the trumpet. Look at the tarot card, or the Pluto card in the tarot. You have the judgment card. And I think it's the 22nd, if I'm mistaken. feel like it's in the 20 22nd, someone correct. Major Arcana, it is the trumpet being played and the dead bodies rising out of the coffin. So the trumpet card, the judgment card, that's what's going on at the moment. All of that dead bodies, the darkness, the deep state, the unconscious, the shadow, is coming to light. Now, at a surface level, you've got the media and the government, which is spinning it and causing it and controlling it and fucking propagandizing it to manipulate your consciousness and your mind and your energy and your direction and all of those things. So if you're at that level and you're trying to work it out and who did it and poor Trump or fuck Trump or whatever side you're on, the Matrix has got you. You've got to let that shit go and you've got to look at it at a much bigger level. We're being fucked. Humanity's being fucked. We're being fucked. We've been fucked for a long fucking time by people that know how to fuck us. And they've created a system of fuckery so clever that we think within that very system of fuckery that we have free democracy and choice and all in a wonderful life. No, we've been distracted with meaningless entertainment, distractions, disconnections, while they harvest you. Go to work, get a good job. Don't forget to pay your taxes. It's a system. It's just a very clever system. So this is not about just the election and Trump and all of that. That is part of a story that's unfolding, that's emerging, that's slowly. And the more it goes on, the more shit comes to light. The more any sane thinking person that isn't completely indoctrinated and conditioned into the fucking brain dead spewing up whatever the program is told them to think this week, right? Anyone that has any fucking control over their mental faculties is going, what the fuck? What the fuck's going on? It's bullshit. It's bullshit. This isn't an even playing board. They've created a game. They haven't told us it's a game, and they control the rules, and we're fucking asleep to it. So this, now, if you look at whether there was an assassination attempt or anything like that, it's irrelevant. It doesn't matter. You're not going to know, and it doesn't matter. It's not about that. Because Trump is a magi, a magician, what magicians know is how the consciousness and the universe work, how it works. So they know there's going to be a certain astrological alignment which just relates to a particular frequency and the effect that that's going to have on consciousness. And they know the types of events that could be created in alignment to that universal cosmic clock that are going to have maximum impact and effect. Hence, sudden and unexpected attack on Trump. What is the impact that that has on the collective consciousness? What is the impact that that has on people's awareness? How does that change things? How do people see things? You know? And then the response to what that's going on as well. So they've utilized that. So there was, okay, it was fake. Well, it doesn't matter what it was. It's part of the programming. And if you can't see the programming, you're being programmed. And if you're unsettled or freaking out or you know what's going on, the Matrix has you. You have to turn it off. You have to control or delete that shit. Looking at videos and looking at the angles of the shooter and the shots and the ear and the this and the that and doing all that, futile. It's only going to serve further paranoia, insecurity, fear. What the fuck's going on? I don't know. It's crazy with well. Get out bigger, 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 bigger. Can you see the game that's being played? Can you see the program that's unfolding? When you learn the universal language of the sky, the language of symbolism, you start to see the world through that lens. It starts to make sense at a level that the conditioned mind, the educated mind, the controlled mind can't grasp. That's why I became an astrologer. That's why I help people understand themselves on a deeper level. That's why I help people understand what the fuck's going on in the world. Because you look at it from a perspective, it makes sense. Okay, that's cool. You don't have to fully understand. You have to let go of the need to know. Just go, you know what, I don't know. But what do I know? This world is not as it's supposed to be. Because we have been asleep and conditioned to be that way, we've lost control of the way in which this world operates and who's in control of it. And sinister, dark forces have taken advantage of that. And now we're waking up. We're reclaiming that. Moving forward, I'll give you how I see it playing out in context to the matrix and the sky clock and the integration of those two things. Is this where I gotta go? I got an appointment. No, that's not it. Okay. This is my opinion when I integrate these two things, and I'm not saying this to say this is what's going to happen, this is just how I see it unfolding. I think. Yeah. Trump will win the election, but they'll block the transition of power. There'll be something economic, war, something they've tried to do to block the transition of power from the deep state or from those that are in control over to Trump and whatever he represents. And that will lead to extreme uprising and conflict, which will most likely lead to intervention through the military. And then you will see a lot of shock of certain people, organizations, groups being either all of a sudden disappearing or being brought into justice. And then from that place, it'll move towards the conflict that's going to arise when that spreads throughout the world and you have all of those rats that are infiltrated most countries and the need for them to be brought to some form of justice or change. That's how I see it playing out. What's that going to look like? It's going to look like chaos in the US at the end of the year. It's going to look like military intervention, which is going to probably lead the world into what we would call World War III, 2025 to 2027, probably. Now, is the average person, is the awakened person, is the person that sees what's going on in some type of harm's way? No. Hopefully, since COVID, you've been making changes in your life. And hopefully you've been doing the work, and hopefully you've been putting yourself in a position to be able to transition through a period of upheaval, chaos, and change. Hopefully you're building community. Hopefully you're, removing yourself from the parts of your life that have keeping you stuck and conditioned and asleep and programmed and controlled and miserable and depressed and all of those things. That's what you should be doing. Taking back control, living your life your way. That's the sovereign, free way to do it. Everyone's going to do that in their own unique way. But staying plugged into this and dependent upon it and hoping that, someone's going to come and save you personally, it's not a place you should be. You should be thinking about, I need to fucking really take control of my life and save myself. Once one has done that, they're in a position to support others through that process. But, waiting for, someone to be elected for this to stop or end or change, or someone coming to save us, we, the people, have to be the change. So first, what do we need to change? We need to see how fucked it's become, how restrictive and controlling and fear-driven, and how they use propaganda and the media and the government and corporatization and marketing and promotions and all those things to control and manipulate. And you have to detach from that shit. You have to not allow what's going on in the world to define you, who you are, or what you do in this world. You have to become free, a free thinker. If it's overwhelming you and it's consuming you, you should possessing you, you should disconnect from it. You should be mindful of what you are, allowing into your consciousness or your reality or your experience. And if you can't learn to detach from it all and walk in this world and not be of it in one little bit, it's going to be a challenging next 5-10 years. And we're talking about thousands of years of this type of programming and conditioning and control and manipulation. And more closely, we're talking about a couple of 100 years maybe of this being going on. We're only just waking up. We're only, pre-September 11, fuck all people were awake. There were people awake, but fuck all people were awake. So now think about how many people are awake. Yeah, there's still a lot sleeping, of course. Let them sleep. But there is so many people in so many areas as well. It's not just political awareness. It's awareness around the pharmaceutical and the health industry. It's awareness around the food industry. It's awareness around every fucking aspect of our reality. There are people speaking up and speaking out and bringing things to light. This is us awakening. This is humans awakening. We're fortunate because we have these tools that we can use to connect and share information. But we have to be mindful that they're a tool and not let that tool consume us or overwhelm us either. So we've got to, make sure that we're the craftsmen and we know which tool to use and how to use it. Otherwise, that tool will consume you. But you think about it, right? That's what's happening. People are awakening. We're in the awakening stages yet. So we're still emerging infantile, innocent, and still a little cautious and weary. Well, as you would if you've been asleep for thousands of years, right? So when it comes time to act more consciously and start to really make some fundamental changes, and you take this awareness and then you put it into integration in your life and you make changes. And I'll tell you now, the end of this year with Mars in Leo opposite Pluto in Aquarius, personally, that's what I feel is the way to process and navigate the change that's coming at the end of this year is now act on what you need to change in your life. Now act on that. Really take control of it and do it. You're taking back your power in that sense. And don't allow whatever's going on in the circus to take your power away from you, to create instability or uncertainty or fear. See it for what it is. Don't focus on the micro. Expand up to the macro, the big picture. Focus on what really matters, what's really going on. The disconnection of the collective from their soul. And they don't want us reclaiming that connection. They don't want us waking up. They don't want that. They don't want to awaken humanity. So they've systematically, for a long time, through education, through the monetization, the financial system, through government, through food, through medicine, what they've done is that dark, sinister force possessing those weak, self-serving souls. What it's done is it systematically disconnected us, turns us off, and kept us in a state of conditioned fear. And they just got the trigger. They just know how to play the trigger, right? So that's what we're up against here. It's not whether it was a Democrat that did it or who did it, or whether they did it to themselves. That you're focusing on the wrong bit. The Matrix has you in that sense. You got to go bigger. You got to get out. You got to go cosmic. Pun intended. So anyway, that's my YouTube live. I've never done a YouTube live. How many people are in here? 23. If you're in the house, hit the thumbs up button. It's good for my algorithm. So it's good for my channel. Yeah. I might come on here and do a few more. I used to do lots of lives on Instagram, but I just don't. Yeah, my life's been chaotic, as you know. Following along, you know what I've been through. I'm going through, and still going through. Yeah, I feel the shift. The next moment, that'll be a month from now. So Mars-Uranus conjunction. We're going to have a Mars-Jupiter conjunction squaring natal Saturn. So obviously there'll be more content and videos on that alignment coming up, and what we could expect from that, just to bring awareness. But we're dealing with Mars-Jupiter. We're dealing with some pretty big changes in Gemini. Right? Gemini is the sign of mutability, change. What we can change it? We can change our perspective. We can change the way we see things. We can start to look at the world differently. If you don't like the world you see, change the way you see it. Gemini. There's twins, right? Which twin are you looking at the world through? Jekyll or Hyde? Heart or mind? So, yeah, I thank you for your support, and watch this space. More to come. If you're in Perth and you're following me from Perth, I'll be there very soon in a month. Hit me up because I'm doing in-person readings while I'm there. Otherwise, stay tuned for more to come. Peace out. Now, how do I turn this off? And how do I save it? Fuck me when you get old and you can't see. So, okay, do I want to just close that down? What do I do now? Hey, everyone in the house. I can't fucking see. So, if I press that button, we're sure it stops streaming. Yeah, but if I end